Hi YouTube, this is OsoX for ZeroZeroXVids.com, on YouTube at ZeroZeroX and on Instagram at Quantic Films. On today's video, we'll be upgrading the Sentry computer to the Sentry 3.7 computer. I have three internal upgrades right here. This is the first one we're going to unbox. This is the Sovereign Rocket NVMe PCIe Gen 4.0, 1 terabyte of SSD storage with those PCI 4.0 speeds. That's an internal 1 terabyte drive. Let's take a look at the package. This is Rocket NVMe 4.0 Sovereign. We're gonna unbox it. I'm gonna take the plastic off first. These internal upgrades, all these three internal upgrades will change the Sentry computer to the Sentry 3.7 computer. And I have two peripherals that will upgrade the Dream Computer Setup to the Dream Computer Setup 3.2. Now here's the packaging of the PCIe drive. It comes with a metal box, a golden metal box. It's 1 terabyte. Besides the Sovereign Rocket high performance storage. Let's open it and let's see what's inside. This can be reused, this box, for some stuff, for screws or storing small parts. We have the manual, installation guide, software and hardware, how to install the hardware. And we ordered the Rocket, the Sovereign Rocket PCIe 4 1 terabyte SSD, of course, but without the heatsink. There's a version that comes with a heatsink. We ordered the one without the heatsink because we're gonna put our own thermal solution, which comes with the motherboard, with the Aorus motherboard we already have. So we're gonna stick that to this drive, and that also saves you some money. And here is the actual drive with a protective carton. This is the Sovereign 1 terabyte SSD. And it's golden glory. It's 1 terabyte of it, mostly for content creation. The sticker in the back. If you take out the sticker, it voids the warranty, so don't take it out. It's easy to take out, but don't. The thermal compound and the thermal solution goes on top, on the golden part. Let's proceed to our second upgrade, which is an RGB backplate for the graphics card, the video card. In this case is the NVIDIA RTX video card we have installed on the Sentry computer already. Wait until you see the design of this RGB plate. There you have it. Let's open it. It has a couple of bags. One of them is the back plate. We'll get to it later. And this Swedish Fish candy, cables, and the control remote. There's some magnets in there as well. Let's open the small bag first. This RGB plate is from V1 Tech online. That's a very easy way to order and configure your backplate. We deliver this, but not without hiccups. Okay, these are the magnets that go attached to the back of the video card. And it comes with 8 of them. This is the manual, instructions on how to set it up, and how to use the magnets, and where to apply them. You basically put them on top of the screws on the backplate, because there's the metal part. These are the different cables: SATA cable, ICU for the motherboard, Fusion, all the standards for RGB software control via motherboard and via software, and this is the remote that you can use with the SATA cable to control them manually with the head. These stickers will go on top of the magnets to stick to the plate, to the RGB plate. Now let's get to the RGB plate, shall we? This is the RGB plate, and you'll see the design we chose for it. The cross will light up with RGB light, as well as the sides of the plate that you can see on the sides of the graphics card as well. Pretty cool design. The background was provided by V1 Tech. You can choose different backgrounds and then you design on top, or you can design the whole thing. Now, here's a problem though. The connection on the plate, the RGB connection, is not the correct one. It's a male connection that goes to the other cable that has the same connection. It has to be a male to female. We'll get to that later. Now this is the other upgrade, internal upgrade. Is the memory, RAM memory, that we're upgrading from 16 to 32 gigabytes of Trident Z RGB memory running at 3600 Hz, cache latency 18. Let's take it out of the box. As you can see, it's new with a sticker to put on your case. We already have that sticker on the case, so we'll just let it be. Stick it out. The same 2 sticks we already have in there for a total of 4 sticks now. And you might have been able to watch that already on our other gaming videos. The computer has 4 RGB RAM sticks in there already. They came out probably before this video was available. Okay, so that was the RAM. Now let's take a closer look at the internal upgrades. The memory, the 16 gigabytes of Trident C RGB, G-Skill Trident C RGB memory for a total of 32 gigabytes. The RGB backplate for the graphics card with a cross. And the Sovereign Rocket PCIe 4.0 1TB SSD high performance internal storage upgrade. You have another 2 drives, 2.12 terabytes, and these are the external upgrades, the peripherals. We're adding an Oculus Link cable for Oculus Quest, which will be connected to the GeForce RTX 2060 Super one side, and the other side would go to the Oculus Quest shown in here, which will make the Oculus Quest work as it was an Oculus Drift S in conjunction with the computer. So it will work with the Oculus Store for the Oculus Quest and also for the Oculus applications for PC, both mobile and PC. So we can play Steam VR, we can play all the VR titles that are supported by Oculus Drift and Oculus Drift S. This is the Oculus Link cable made especially for the Oculus Quest. It's a USB-C cable it's a high bandwidth, high performance or USB-C cable that will connect to a USB-C port. And I know the GeForce RTX 2060 Super has a port, a USB-C port, especially for future VR headsets. That's what we're gonna try. We're gonna show the results, how this works, how well it works Worst case scenario, it's a different protocol. You gotta use it with a USB 3.0 port on the computers that we have. We have plenty, well, not plenty, we have a few still available, and we'll try all the options and see which one works best. So let's get this Oculus Link cable open. Oculus Quest Link cable. Let's see what's all the fuss about. And there's the cable. It's pretty long. Should be fine moving around. It comes with a setup guide, a warranty information. The warranty, and this is the guide. Always read the manuals, the guide. I know I'm showing this channel how to do everything, but before you install something, check the manual, check the instructions. Always a good idea. This is the warranty information, and this is the actual cable. Let's take it out. Let's take a closer look. You see it's bended on one side. That side will go to the VR headset. We already unboxed the Oculus Quest previously in another video, so I'm not gonna unbox this one. It comes with a little plastic there. That's to bend the cable and stick it next to the Oculus Quest headset. It's a pretty good length of the cable, which should be fine. Connected there, and the other side goes to the video card. The Founders Editions have USB-C ports in them. Otherwise, you just have to connect it to the computer, straight to the computer via USB 3.0 or USB 3.1 or 3.2. I believe you need a 3.1 for this to work. Alright, so let's get a closer look at the cable, the link cable. You can get this cable at Best Buy, Amazon, Micro Center. I believe Target has them too. Newegg, of course. They're in short supply now, as well as the VR headset. The Oculus Quest are in very low supply. It's difficult to find a new one for the retail price. Verizon has some. Might want to check those, guys. Instructions. And now let's proceed to install the upgrade, shall we? Let's upgrade the Sentry computer to Sentry 3.7. This is the computer. Let's check first the connections in the back, because we need a SATA connection, power connection to the backplate, to the V1 Tech backplate, and we're gonna find out if we have an available power cable. Otherwise, we have to install one to the power supply. And right off the bat, I see one. I can see a SATA cable that has different connections coming out of the power supply. So we're gonna use that. Not yet. Now let's take out some parts. We can install the SSD, the Sovereign 1TB SSD, without taking out the graphics card, because it comes right under the graphics card. So we're gonna have to take out the graphics card first. And that's also helpful to install the backplate, the RGB backplate. We can install it after we do that, after we install the SSD and the RGB backplate. Let's take out the cover, these two screws here near the I/O for the graphics card. Let's take out the graphics card, the power cable, the lever. Let's press the lever to push it out. Let's push on it, then pull out the card. Now you can see the Aorus 500 gigabytes of storage in there. You see the gold part. This is the RTX 2060 Super with a mirror-like texture in the middle. Down there you see one of the PCIe 4 M.2 slots populated by the Aorus 500 gigabyte storage solution with a heatsink. The copper heatsink is massive. It has a golden color to it. It's copper. Now we're taking out this thermal solution, this back plate with a thermal strip. See, that comes with the motherboard. So we're going to take out this protective case, stick in there. We're going to stick it to the Sovereign PCIe 4 1TB SSD. But first we need to install the SSD itself. Here's the port, and we also need two stands and one stand and one screw, and two screws that come with the motherboard. One screw is for the thermal solution, and the other two, the stand and the screw, are to hold the SSD in place. This should come with your motherboard. You should keep them because you might need them later, like in this case, to install an extra SSD. Both of them get screwed on the motherboard. Well, one goes through the motherboard. It will hold the SSD at an acceptable level. Then another screw will go on top to hold the SSD in place, to keep it there in place. Okay, now we insert the SSD, the Sovereign Rocket SSD. And to insert the connection and then push down. It has a spring. Down and then secure it with another screw on top. Have the screw right here. There it goes, nice and easy. Tighten it well. Now we're ready to apply the thermal solution that has a thermal compound on it. Sticky pad, a thermal pad on top of a heatsink made of metal. Just secure in there, and it's clean metal surface. Let's get the pad and the heatsink, put it in there. This heatsink again is provided by the motherboard manufacturer. Usually has two of them in this case, but the Aorus SSD came with a solution already. It came with the heatsink. This one didn't, so we're gonna use this one we have for the motherboard. Same procedure. You're gonna stick it in there and then push until it sticks to the SSD itself. We have one more screw to secure it in there, secure it in place. If we had to check out our music and our music section in the channel, it's original music like this. This is a song called Intro to Close by yours truly, OsoX. All the music you hear during these videos, it's made by me, unless it's the intro music by Popolocho or Pablo. He made some of the early intro songs for all our videos when the logo comes out. Alright, so that's it. That's done. Now the video card. We're gonna install the plate anyway, the RGB backplate. So we see where the screws are. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna use those 5 points for the plate. So we have the magnets here. Using the biggest screws so it will stick to the magnet. In this case though, in the case of this backplate, the magnets will attach anywhere, but we're just attaching them to the screws just like the instructions say though, just in case. There's a reason why the screws are in there. I'll only use 5 now. I'm gonna stick the stickers, double-sided stickers, on top of the magnets, like so. It's a little difficult to peel off because they're very potent, they really stick to it. We'll do the same thing for the other 4. The RGB backplate, it's the Christian cross I have right next to me. When I'm working with the computer, I see it the whole time. I see the RGB working and I can watch it the whole time there. You've seen my crosses before here on next to the keyboard and game controller, next to the action camera. And now I have it in the computer inside the RGB, and it's beautiful there. Let's keep watching. now it's time to stick the RGB backplate to these two-sided stickers. We'll go here in the back, in the plastic of the back, which is shiny. It's easier to stick anyway. Right. One of them stuck already. Need to do it again. And V1 Tech makes backplates for any video card. You just tell them the manufacturer, the model, the chipset, and they'll custom cut it for you. Although that was not the problem with our backplate. I'll explain what the problem was in a second while we have a problem with that. The design is fine, the background is fine, the RGB lighting is fine too. It's the sides and the cross, which is that white color is transparent, so you can see the RGB behind it. It looks pretty cool once it's properly installed and running. It looks fine. The quality is not the best. It's good, but it's not perfect. On the sides you see the front, all the printing part is fine, the transparency, all that, but on the sides the cut is not perfect. On the sides you see some irregularities on the cut on the sides. Alright, so now let's show you what happened here with the connection. So we have here the cable that will connect to the SATA connection or ICU. It doesn't matter what cable you choose. In this case we use it for the control remote, the remote here. So there's one connection that goes to the power supply, and the other connection is supposed to go to the plate. But look, it's the same connection, it's the same end, with the pins sticking out, so you cannot connect it. So clearly this RGB strip has the wrong connection going out. You see? That's the end that goes to the RGB plate. It has to be female to male. That's what it's supposed to be, and we have male to male, and it doesn't work like that. These 3 pins clash with these other 3 pins, so we need to change that connection somehow. So I reached V1 Tech and explained the problem, and what they did is, so I can fix it, they send me, I'll show you later, but they send me a new RGB strip that I will cut myself and stick it to the plate. From now we're gonna skip this part. We're gonna go straight to connecting the other 2 sticks of memory. The G-Skill Trident C 3600 cache latency 18. We're gonna stick those, so we're gonna take out here's the levers. We're gonna open them left and right. We have to check that the sticks are facing the same way as the ones that are installed already. It has to be the same face, facing out and facing forward. It has to look the same way. Don't stick them backwards because they won't go in. You have to stick them the right way, facing the same way, with the same patterns, and press them until the levers click and hold them in place, like the bracket will hold it in place. It will be even better if we take out all the sticks and stick them one after another, but in this case I'm just sticking it, doing the dual slots that haven't been used yet. For that I'm gonna need a screwdriver to press on there because the fingers are not enough. See, it's difficult to push them in there because the other memory sticks are in there already. So we use the screwdriver, the flat screwdriver, to press on the sides so it will click. It's a satisfying click sound in there. Alright. Now we can And what we're gonna do, what we can do while we wait for V1Tech was to connect the graphics card back with the magnets on them. No, actually, not with the magnets on. The magnets are stuck to the plate, to the RGB plate. The magnets are on the RGB plate, and then that way, whenever we replace the RGB connection, the RGB strip with the connection, we can just stick that plate with the magnets and the two-sided tape on top of the graphics card. But for now, we're just going to install this graphics card back into the system. I will install the RGB plate and its new connection later. So we gotta screw it back into place, like so. Alright, so now we look at the back of the computer where we have the power connections going to the power supply, and now we're gonna, you can cut this tag or not, but it's fine, we're gonna leave it in there for labeling. Now we're gonna get the SATA cable to connect to the power supply. We see we have a connection available, a free connection here, and we're gonna connect it to the cable. I'm gonna leave the cable set up so once we get the new RGB strip with the connection, will be easier to install. We'll have the power connection pre-installed in there. And I use the cutouts on the motherboard to route it near the graphics card as well, so it's seamless. Let's connect this cable, and this allows you to use the remote to change the speed, the lights, and the patterns. So we're gonna pass this through the case to the other side of the case where the graphics card is. I'm just checking out which hole is better for that, and then I think it's this one, the closest one. Like I said before, we contacted V1Tech. They solved the problem by sending us a new RGB LED strip that has both connections to each end of that RGB strip, but it's not the right size, so you gotta cut it, take out the old RGB strip, take it out of the plate, of the RGB back plate, clean all the double-sided tape residue, and stick the new one in there, and then cut it before you stick it with the right connection facing out. We'll show you in a second what we did. So for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna assemble the computer back together. We're gonna keep it back together, all the parts in there, and then we're gonna install it into the Dream Computer Setup 3.2 until we get the new parts. Okay, and there you see the cable for the RGB strip and the RGB backplate sticking out. Whenever the plate is finished, we'll just connect those two ends, and voila, we'll start working again. You see it right there, right next to the graphics card power cable. That way we can make up some lost time. Alright, so this is what we got. We took out the strip from the RGB backplate. It was the old strip, and this is what we got in the mail. A bag, just a bag with a new RGB strip. So let's check the backplate now. It's clean. It doesn't have the RGB light anymore in there with the wrong connection facing the way out there. We took that out and we cleaned the side. We're going to be able to check for any residue in there that you don't need. See, we took out the two-sided tape and cleaned it. The design, everything else is the same. It's a good design. Even the magnets are stuck in there already in place to stick to the graphics card. And this is the bag we got in the mail by V1Tech. It's a new strip that is longer, and it has two connections, one in, one out, with LEDs with RGB LEDs and with a two-sided tape, 3M two-sided tape that's very strong in the back. So we need to cut it to size. We're gonna do that right now. We're gonna measure it, find out what's the right size, gets the most LEDs to the plate. Right there. Okay, we measure that. We're gonna cut through the copper connections. Those coppers will allow us to not interfere with any of the circuitry between the RGB and its controllers or anything like that. It's just the copper. Those are connections between the RGBs or to one of the connections. It works like one of those. So we just cut them there by the natural line. There's actually a line there. We're going to cut it a little higher up because we need that LED to be close to the plate. There. Now we're going to apply it correctly this time with the right connection facing out, sticking out of the card. Now we're taking out these layers, plastic layer, to the two-sided tape, exposing one of the sides that's gonna go, is going to stick to the plate, and those LEDs are gonna shine the light through that plate to the transparent part of the plate. We stick one side first, and then we pull it all the way to the other side, so there's no slack, no pockets. Like so. It came out really nice, and let's see it. We need to see it working in action. Let's go install it on the Dream Computer setup. The computer's already in there. It has been working for a couple of days without the RGB. Now we're gonna upgrade it to the V1 Tech RGB backplate with a custom design on it. This beautiful cross. Let's go do that now. Okay, so this is the computer in its natural habitat. We're gonna take out the tempered glass cover. Of course the power is off, and we turn off the power supply just to connect it. And here we can see the graphics card and the connection that we left from the power supply sticking out in there. The back plate of the graphics card is metallic, so the magnets can apply anywhere, but we are aiming to put them on top of the screws, the metal screws. And here's the plate with the tape, the new RGB strip with the right connector, and with the stickers with the magnets facing out. Let's connect it first. This female to male 3-pin connector RGB. These are the magnets, the 5 magnets that are gonna go on top of the graphics card. Let's connect it real quick. Let's stick the male connection there. Then do click. And now the plate, we can slide it in there until it sticks on the screws. There, right there. Now we should be getting that power to the RGB strip. This cable should allow us to use the remote control to operate the RGB. It's an RF remote control. It's an RF wireless control. I'm double checking the magnets to be sure it's the right fit. I'm pulling the cable a little back so it's not on the way, it doesn't show too much. The cable management is nice. And I think it's ready. It's ready for us to turn it on. Alright, so that's it. We turn on the computer, the RGB comes on. There's extra light coming from the other fans, the RGB fans, the RGB on the RAM sticks, on the CPU cooler as well. We're gonna lower the film's overexposed, but here you can have a better look at what the RGB does on the plate. The cross lights up nicely, but we also want to give it that rainbow look, that rainbow rotating color look. To do that, we're going to need to use the RF remote control to match the rest of the build. So we take out this plastic, which will activate the battery. Now we control things like speed, brightness, color, pattern. There's also one that's the one in the middle is auto, the right is mode, different mode, lighting modes. So the different modes that it has. That's a flashing mode, I guess. You have mode going up, mode going down, speed going up, speed going down. You have brightness, you have the different colors. You can choose white, red, green, blue, until we find the right combination for this build. And this is the Sentry 3.7 computer right now that's turned off. We're gonna turn it on again and have a sizzle reel to show you the results of the upgrades, how they look on the computer and how they look on the computer setup, the rig itself. This is the computer rig, the computer setup, the Dream Computer setup 3.2. This is on, with the computer on. You can see all rainbow patterns, the BenQ 4K monitor or Audio-Technica microphone, and then you see the computer with the RGB on. And you can see the RGB backplate working, the V1 Tech RGB backplate. Take a closer look. That's the Wi-Fi antenna, Tandem X, my keyboard, my digital piano, my mixer, the mini cajon. That's a magnetic headphone stand. It's another upgrade, if you want to call it that. That's how the RGB comes together in this computer. You can check the cross between the processor and the storage. Don't forget to check all other sections, or music sections especially, with new music videos. I just uploaded a song called Intro to Close. You're listening to my music right now. Don't forget to check the gaming section videos, the Dream Computer setup videos, which I have set up with different computer builds like this one for friends. Don't forget to comment on our music videos to sign up for giveaways. Let's take one more look at the RGB goodness of the Sentry 3.7 computer. Have new storage, new RGB backplate, and new memory, extra memory. So upgraded storage, the RGB, and the memory on this computer, as well as the VR capabilities with the Oculus Quest Link, the Oculus Link cable that will allow us to use VR with the computer itself, not just standalone. My music equipment, so the microphone, the steering wheel, that's a Transmaster T300 SGT steering wheel. We have some videos about that too. We're driving Forza Horizon 4 with it. Check the gaming section for more videos on that. Don't forget our gaming videos. We have Overwatch, we have Project Cars 3, we have some ray tracing games as well with the RTX card. This was the update showing you the 5 upgrades to the Sentry 3.7 computer. This was OsoX for ZeroZeroX. Thank you for watching, and as always, peace.